Relationships can feel simple for some, but for overthinkers, every word, gesture, or silence becomes a puzzle. Thoughts multiply, scenarios play out endlessly, and intentions are questioned at every turn. This constant mental analysis can create tension, misunderstandings, and emotional distance. What starts as a desire for clarity and connection often becomes a barrier, showing that the mind's need to control outcomes can quietly complicate even the closest bonds. Today, we will talk about why overthinkers struggle in relationships. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Overthinking in relationships. Overthinking in relationships is a common challenge that affects emotional stability, communication, and intimacy. Overthinkers tend to analyze every word, gesture, or pause, searching for hidden meanings or potential issues. While careful consideration can sometimes improve understanding, overanalysis often creates stress and misinterpretation. The brain naturally seeks patterns and predicts outcomes, but overthinkers amplify this tendency, imagining conflicts or negative scenarios that may never occur. In romantic, familial, or professional relationships, this habit can lead to unnecessary tension, insecurity, and withdrawal. The struggle is not rooted in the partner's actions, but in the overthinker's internal processing. Overthinking triggers the brain's fight or flight system, causing heightened emotional responses, even to minor ambiguities. Without awareness, these patterns can escalate, affecting trust, satisfaction, and connection. Understanding how overthinking operates provides the foundation to address its impact on relationships, transforming it from a source of anxiety into an opportunity for growth, better communication, and emotional balance. 2. The role of fear in overthinking. Fear is a central driver of overthinking in relationships. Fear of rejection, abandonment, or conflict makes the mind hypervigilant, constantly scanning for signs of potential problems. Every delayed response, misunderstood tone, or perceived slight can trigger elaborate mental simulations, where the overthinker imagines worst-case scenarios. These imagined problems, often disproportionate to reality, can lead to preemptive defensive behaviors such as withdrawal, repeated questioning, or over-apologizing. The fear is protective. The brain interprets vigilance as a way to prevent emotional harm. However, this defense mechanism paradoxically creates stress and tension within the relationship, affecting both partners. Recognizing that fear fuels overthinking allows individuals to differentiate between real issues and mental projections, reducing unnecessary anxiety while fostering healthier, more balanced interactions. 3. Miscommunication and overanalysis. Overthinkers often struggle with communication because they read too deeply into conversations. Words, tone, and timing are scrutinized, and minor ambiguities are interpreted as significant signals. This overanalysis can result in unnecessary questioning, excessive clarification, or projecting intentions onto the other person that may not exist. Partners may feel confused, frustrated, or pressured, which can generate genuine tension. The overthinker's internal narrative often exaggerates problems, leading to misalignment between perception and reality. Miscommunication compounds stress and reinforces the overthinking cycle. Breaking this pattern requires awareness of cognitive distortions, learning to interpret communication more accurately, and practicing calm, direct exchanges. This approach helps reduce misunderstandings and enhances trust and intimacy in relationships. 4. Emotional intensity and sensitivity. Highly sensitive individuals often overthink because they experience emotions more intensely. Every interaction carries emotional weight, causing overthinkers to dwell on small events or imagined outcomes. Emotional intensity amplifies perceived problems and reinforces mental loops, making it harder to let go of concerns or uncertainties. For example, a neutral comment may trigger hours of rumination, imagining hidden criticism or disappointment. While emotional sensitivity allows for empathy and deep connection, it can also create emotional exhaustion and relational tension when paired with overthinking. Recognizing the interplay between sensitivity and overthinking helps individuals manage emotional responses, set healthy boundaries, and cultivate self-compassion to navigate relationships more effectively. 5. Past experiences shape overthinking. Overthinking in relationships is often influenced by past experiences. Childhood attachment patterns, previous breakups, or repeated disappointment can prime the brain to anticipate negative outcomes. The subconscious mind retrieves these experiences when faced with uncertainty, interpreting minor ambiguities as threats. For instance, someone who experienced rejection may assume a partner's delayed message signifies disinterest, even if the reality is neutral. These patterns become habitual, making it difficult to trust or respond objectively. Understanding the influence of past experiences allows overthinkers to challenge assumptions, distinguish past trauma from present reality, and develop healthier relational patterns that are grounded in evidence rather than fear. 6. The perfectionism trap. Perfectionism often drives overthinking in relationships. Overthinkers may expect themselves and others to meet high, sometimes unrealistic standards. Every perceived misstep, on their part or their partner's, can trigger intense scrutiny and self-criticism. This perfectionism creates pressure, making natural imperfections seem like failures. Over time, this contributes to tension, dissatisfaction, and guilt within the relationship. Both partners may feel frustrated or inadequate due to these expectations. Recognizing perfectionism as a driver of overthinking allows individuals to embrace imperfection, focus on progress rather than flawlessness, and cultivate a healthier relational mindset where mistakes are seen as part of growth rather than threats. 7. The cycle of rumination. Rumination reinforces overthinking in relationships. Once an imagined or real concern arises, the overthinker mentally replays scenarios repeatedly, analyzing every detail and predicting potential outcomes. This cognitive loop amplifies anxiety and magnifies problems, often leading to self-fulfilling behaviors such as withdrawal or conflict. The partner may respond to these behaviors, further validating imagined threats. Without intervention, rumination solidifies as a habitual response to uncertainty, making emotional balance and trust harder to maintain. Interrupting the cycle through mindfulness, reflection, and reframing is essential to reduce mental strain and improve relational satisfaction. 8. Strategies to manage overthinking. Managing overthinking requires awareness and deliberate strategies. Journaling helps externalize thoughts, preventing mental loops from dominating attention. Mindfulness and meditation reduce emotional reactivity, allowing individuals to observe thoughts without judgment. Setting boundaries for mental analysis, practicing cognitive reframing, and focusing on evidence rather than assumptions help align perception with reality. Open communication with partners ensures clarity and reduces misunderstandings. By combining these tools, overthinkers can maintain insight and empathy while avoiding unnecessary stress and tension. 9. Building trust and security. Overthinkers struggle when trust and security are low. Strengthening these elements within relationships mitigates overanalysis. Consistent communication, reassurance, and transparent behavior from both partners reduce ambiguity and perceived threat. Overthinkers can learn to rely on factual interactions rather than imagined scenarios, gradually diminishing the need for constant mental scanning. Developing trust requires patience, self-reflection, and conscious effort, but results in healthier, more stable relationships where overthinking no longer dominates emotional responses. 10. Turning overthinking into strength. Overthinking does not have to be detrimental. It can be a tool for insight, empathy, and relational growth. When managed consciously, the analytical tendencies of overthinkers can enhance understanding, problem-solving, and emotional awareness. The key is to balance thoughtful consideration with action, perspective, and evidence-based assessment. By recognizing patterns, managing emotional intensity, and practicing intentional communication, overthinkers can transform a potential weakness into a strength, fostering deep, resilient, and fulfilling relationships. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.